All right, welcome back to another video, back with more talks about 10.2, and we want to, in this video, go over the tier sets for Outlaw Rogue and over some mock talents that we're going to go over and some changes that they made from 10.1 to now. I'm pretty excited. I've done a little bit of testing, and from what I can see, what I can feel, and the numbers that I'm seeing, I feel like Outlaw is definitely in the right direction. Will it need more work? Of course, tuning is always good, but we'll take what we can get for now. All right, but if you're watching this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into it. So we have the tier set for Outlaw. Now, honestly, truthfully, I'm a little disappointed. I feel that the tier set isn't honestly that good, right? We look at our two sets. Sinister Strike has an additional 15% chance of striking additional time. Okay, yeah, it's going to give us additional combo point, a little bit of extra damage, but as you can see, most of the times on most fights, or at the end of a dungeon run, Mythic Plus, whatever, Sinister Strike is not top damage for you. It can go here is usually fourth. It depends on how long the fight is and things like that. Sinister Strike usually falls behind. Now, we got a few other pieces. We got weapons and things like that. So you might see some of these numbers be skewed a little bit, right? But honestly, I don't feel like the two set is great. Is it okay? Yes, all depends on how you wanna spec and handle your talents. But I feel like honestly the two set really isn't that good. Now, a 4-set Roll the Bones additionally refreshes a random Roll the Bones combat enhancement you buff you currently possess for 40 seconds. Now, what does this do for us? I think the 4-set is okay, right? Depends on what combat enhancement that you rolled and which one the game selects to give you an additional 40 seconds on. This could be good, or it could be eh. Now, mind you, Roll the Bones combat enhancements aren't necessarily bad. I'll probably put a list of what they are somewhere up in the video so you can see what they are. Of course, they're going to be combat enhancements that are better than others, but I mean, combat enhancement is combat enhancement, right? So to just have that ability to refresh one of them for 40 seconds, I don't think that's too bad, right? Especially when you think of things of how some of the talents are shifted. You get Roll the Bones off of cooldown a lot faster. You can constantly refresh these combat enhancement to have a longer duration more frequently. So I think honestly that's pretty cool. The 2-set, not so much, but the 4-set I think is okay. Alright, but other than that, let's go ahead and go into our talents, man. So as you can see here from the last video, we got certain abilities that are baseline, right? We're gonna go the wrong tab, of course. So we got some baseline abilities here. I don't think they're gonna actually show them in here. So yes, Restless Blades has been one of the pivotal talents that we had to spec into in 10.1. In 10.2, Restless Blades is now passive. So there's one combo point that we are free of that we can do some things is. And if anybody doesn't know, Restless Blades is the cream of the crop for Outlaw, because it makes majority of all your skills that are actually useful to your spec have a reduced cooldown per combo point spent, right? So all your finishing moves will reduce these things by a second per combo point. So if it's 5 combo points you used on it, 5 seconds, 7 combo points, 7 seconds. Y'all can do math, right? I think that's definitely major that they did this with Restless Blades. So that gave us a freedom of a point. Also, grappling hook. Having a spec into mobility or any type of class, I feel is pretty dumb. So them giving us grappling hook baseline, I think is great that they did that. And we don't have to go through that anymore, right? And also, another, as I should have mentioned, they gave us Blade Flurry as well, baseline. Blade Flurry is probably going to be in our top 3 damage when it comes to majority of fights. Depends on N+, single target, things like that. So giving us this baseline, and even on single targets fights, Blade Flurry is pretty damn good. To have this baseline kind of gives you a little bit of ease of mind, not having to worry about where you're going to put your points to get the most out of your class, because two out of the three baseline talents they already gave them to you, between Blade Flurry and Restless Blades. So good job to Buzz on that. Now let's go ahead and slide into the talents, right? So we're not gonna really go over too much in the talent tree here. I think you can kind of adjust this pretty much any way you want to go, right? Now we have a few talents that we can go into, we can choose from, that could be a little controversial just based on the type of builds that you want to go with, right? Now, ambush, the improved ambush build. Now the ambush build is it's cool. It's an extra button that you can hit just based off of your pistol shot, right? If you get have energy pistol shots, you can get a chance to proc your ambush to use outside of stealth. Is it a good button? It's good to have more attacks to hit, right? But is it one of those buttons that you're going to see on your DPS chart in your top 5 because you're talented into it? Chances are you won't. If they buff ambush, maybe so. But as of right now, I don't really feel like that's a good benefit for us. I feel like you can go more. You still want to take certain abilities. You want to make sure that you're getting as much haste as you can. Any talents that's going to give you haste, you want to go ahead and get for those. Cold Blood is always going to be great. Vigor is always going to be, I feel like it's going to be mandatory. You want to increase your energy and your regen by 15%. So certain talents here you're going to want to take, and you kind of have to take in order to get to certain ones. Thistle Tea, you can kind of go your way with Thistle Tea if you want to. Just kind of just depends on your play style and how you want to manage things. I've always liked Echoing Reprimand. I think sometimes it is a little tricky to land in those anima charges, but they're lined up 2, 3, and 4. I don't know if they've changed. So if you spend 2 combo points, and 3 combo points, and 4 combo points, you'll hit those marks as though they consume 7 combo points. I think it's a good talent. I still think it's one of the things you could probably try out, get a little testing with, and if you like the button, you'll find a way to make it work, right? Now, Shadow Dance is kind of one of those things that is controversial to me, solely because the class fantasy of Outlaw, right? Not saying that Shadow Dance is bad, but it doesn't feel like an ability that Outlaw should be using. Now, it does allow you to use all your stealth abilities and gives you your combat benefits of abilities from stealth for 6 seconds. So that helps with a talent called Take 'em by Surprise. So most pools, when you start them, you're going to be in stealth. So you're going to get the 10% buff, and then you're going to get 20 seconds after breaking stealth. So if you got a weak aura that's going to track this for you, you get your 20 seconds of haste buff, 10%, and then you'll pop Shadow Dance solely to get Taken by Surprise back up again. So that's almost like a 20, 40, it's like a 50-something second window total, right? Depends on how you spec it, that you have the 10% haste buff. Now, I feel like at some point, you're specking more towards haste or things like that, this might not be as viable, maybe, with Shadow Dance. I guess you can argue that Shadow Dance can give you the benefit of using abilities like Sap, if you can quick Sap a target that you need to get to, or things like that. I just don't feel that you're going to get the most out of Shadow Dance. So to get here, you got to spend 4 points total, right? You have to spec into Soothing Darkness, which some content you don't care about the heals. Now, Night Stalker is not bad, right? And then if you spec into, if I can find it here, Subterfuge, you can get 3 seconds, kind of in a window, to deal 10% increased damage right? But I feel like this haste overall with Shadow Dance would be better. But if I wish there was another route to getting the Shadow Dance versus having to go this way, right? But as you can see, the rest of the trees, like you have to go straight down in order to get to certain abilities, which I understand. But I wish Shadow Dance wasn't here. If Shadow Dance didn't exist on the tree, I think it would be honestly just fine, right? Now we're gonna go over just some of the new talent changes that they made. The 10.2, we got Thieves Versatility, so it's just a flat 1.4%, right? They changed Adrenaline Rush, improving Adrenaline Rush. They went ahead and changed that so you get full combo points whenever you activate Adrenaline Rush, but then you refill your energy at the end. So once again, if you got something that's tracking Adrenaline Rush, you'll kind of know, hey, this is right around the time I need to dump my energy because it's going to refill it in the beginning. And that's also cool because when it refills and you got a talent like Vigor, having 200 energy refilled can be definitely major. Now, another button that's really, really good, and they got these on the same tree, is Blade Rush. Blade Rush in 10.1 is pretty good because it does give you energy back. But if you're talented into Thistle Tea, it restores 100 energy. So 100 over 25, you can kind of make your argument. It just depends on how many buttons you want to hit and what type of buttons you want to hit. But Ghostly Strike has been buffed very well. 15% increased damage from all of our abilities, and for 12 seconds instead of 10. So that's definitely going to be a big lick of our damage whenever we open up on mobs and bosses. Dreadblades is really good. The only thing you got to be very, very careful about, and I've killed myself already testing, is your finishing moves consuming 8% of your health. There is a bug with Killing Spree right now that they said they are going to address. So the bug is you Dreadblades and you Killing Spree at 6 combo points. So you're going to get multiple hits of Killing Spree, and every time it hits, it takes away 8% of your health. And you can just kill yourself. I know this because I've done this twice, right? But making Killing Spree accessible and Dreadblades at the same time, I think there's going to be a lot of powerful, a lot of big damage coming out from Outlaw once you hit, certain trinkets and things like that. And then other than that, you got a few kind of cool talents here at the bottom. Between the Eyes has no cooldown, and also dispatches the target for 100% of normal damage when used from stealth. Now, the cool part I like about this, right? Between the Eyes has always been an ability I've liked, right? And if you go into improve Between the Eyes, critical strikes in Between the Eyes deal 4 times normal damage, things like that. I think it's cool. Like, I like the aspect of Between the Eyes having no cooldown, but only getting dispatch out of stealth kind of bottlenecks you into Shadow Dance and then using Vanish more offensively, which honestly I feel like you'd want to use Vanish defensively in most cases. But I guess it depends on the build, but you got to think about going back to trusty old Restless Blade. Reducing the cooldown on Vanish, it might not be a bad idea. I think it all honestly comes down to like the play style of how you want to play the game, and how you want to manage your buttons. So like the more buttons you give yourself, the more you're going to have to manage. What you think about Restless Blades just being so good, you're just going to have a lot of access to a lot of different tools that you can use. I feel like Combat Rogue has like one of the biggest, most versatile toolkits probably any spec in the game. It has a lot of things that it can do, right? Fan and Hammer, Pistol Shot is going to be probably some of your highest damage. It just does a lot. I want to do a few builds that don't revolve around having ambush, but I have to figure out a way to get through and not really utilize any of this. I don't really want to use anything that pertains to ambush, right? I like the button, but I don't want it to be something that I have to pick. But other than that, from what I've seen, Outlaw Talents, the changes in the tree were great, giving us Blade Flurry, giving us Grapple Hook and Restless Blades baseline. I think that was a great move, giving us access to Dread Blades and Killing Spree at the same time. It's fantastic. The buff to Ghostly Strike makes you want to play the button because it does give you a combo point. Increase all your damage on the target by 15% for 12 seconds. You can get a lot of damage in from a Ghostly Strike building up to a Killing Spree with Adrenaline Rush, Cold Blood still up, things like that. A lot of damage can get pumped out on top of having Blade Flurry active. That's 15% damage. Blade Flurry just going nuts, right? I think they did a pretty good job overall. I think I would like to see a few more numbers adjusted. But I guess we'll see how it goes. But overall, the tier set I think is mediocre. No one really cares about Sinister Strike. If it's something that pertains to like Blade Flurry or Pistol Shot or Between the Eyes even, I think it would be cool, right? But the 2 set is kind of mediocre. Roller Bones is cool because we do need Roller Bones in order to make Outlaw like work. But other than that, I think it's and if I had to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 5. It'd be right in the middle for me. But all in all, we still got plenty of time before 10.2 drops. But that's it. That's all I got for you. I hope everyone appreciated the video. Comment down below how you feel about Outlaw if you play Outlaw. And if you don't, what class and spec you're playing. And I'll give my honest review on it, how I feel. Alright, so you guys in the next video, I'll let you. Peace.